The Japanese government today announced the approval of updated textbooks to be used in that country's high schools next year. In the latest version, the textbooks wrongfully identify Korea's easternmost Dokdo Island as Japanese territory. Now, Seoul immediately issued a strong protest demanding Japan teach correct history to its youngsters. Our foreign affairs correspondent Kwon Soa has the latest development in Korea-Japan ties.
Korea has sternly protested Japan's renewed and expansive claims that South Korea's easternmost island of Dokdo is Japanese territory. Seoul's foreign ministry summoned a Japanese minister from Tokyo's embassy in Seoul Friday in a demand to immediately repeal of its approval of textbook revisions. According to the review, out of 35 social studies high school textbooks to be issued beginning April 2017, 27 refer to Dokdo as Takeshima, the Japanese name for Dokdo, and claim Korea is illegally occupying the island. That's around 77%, and a sharp rise from the 54% of textbooks in 2013. Upon the announcement, Seoul's foreign ministry denounced Tokyo's distorted historical view of the island, which, quote, historically, geographically, and by international law, is clearly South Korean territory.
The Japanese government must realize that teaching history accurately is its obligation to not only Japan's future generations, but also to neighboring countries that suffered from Japan's history of invasion.
Similar words were echoed by Seoul's education ministry, which cited the Japanese government's acknowledgement in 1877 that Dokdo does not belong to Japan.
As Japan has been making its claims throughout the last decade, I don't think that our government's criticism and demand for rectification would change Japan's stance. So we must make use of additional methods, such as promoting Dokdo as our territory more often.
That's also why Seoul's foreign ministry announced Friday it'll increase translations for subtitles of its Dokdo video into 13 more languages to the existing 12 to raise international awareness. Meanwhile, Seoul and Tokyo's recent landmark agreement on Japan's wartime sexual slavery has not been included in the textbooks yet, as the revision process came prior to the deal, but is expected to be added after review next year. However, verbiage in some textbooks seems to dismiss evidence of the Japanese military's atrocities, raising concerns that further revisions will contain similar distortions of history. The government is urging Tokyo to squarely face history and show sincerity in its actions to open up a new chapter in South Korea-Japan relations. Kwon Soa, Arirang News.